Okay, everybody. Excuse me. It's KB5MIQ, big boy. Y'all got to bear with me. I got a new phone and I'm trying to get to where I film these videos where everything's right. If I'll show you something, it ain't backwards. So y'all bear with me a little bit. Raining here today in Northeast Texas. So I ain't got any radios hooked up. But we fix to do this 700 sub giveaway. We're going to give away, like I said, this handbook. And I've already signed it and wrote all the 10-meter crew's name and call signs in there. And I'm sure that signature and $7-8 will get you a cup of coffee at any coffee shop. And here's the soldering iron that's going to go with it. All right. We had 14 entries, and we started this. We was like $6.97, I think, when we started this, or $6.99. I can't remember. But we're 714, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all enjoying listening to me, and appreciate you subscribing and spreading the word. So one of y'all fixing to win that. I'm fixing to look around here and see what I can come up with. All right, let's see who we pulled out of there. All right, Dean Francis, KD9NUC, I think, Rockford, Illinois. Dean, you've been a listener a long time. Glad to see you won that. I'll get that out to you. Appreciate it. Thanks for all y'all who entered. I really appreciate it. We got a few social media issues we're going to look at today. And we hit 800. I've got a 94 model and some other little accessories I'm going to give away. 94 handbook, we're going to give that away when we get to 800. All right. These are some social media issues I look at and pick out, see what kind of questions people are answering, see if they'll help more of the majority of people to listen to me. And I don't just go for everyone I see on there. So I'm a little confused. I've been studying for my general in order to get privileges on the HF bands. But I see a lot of posts touting the qualities of various antennas. Do you really need separate antenna types for each of the HF bands? Well, that's kind of a loaded question. There's several answers here on that subject. For perfect resonance for each band, yeah. But bear in mind, nobody knows the location you're at, how much room you've got, your pocketbook, or anything like that. And your abilities to get elevated antennas or ground-mounted antennas. So you have to look at several options there. When I got back into this hobby and got upgraded to general, I used a G5RV for years and had a lot of good luck with it. You need a radio with a tuner, but I had a G5RV up to peak, an inverted V. The peak of it about 39 feet, and contacts all over the world with it. Run every band from 10 to 80 meters. It wouldn't run 160. It wouldn't run 60 meters, I believe. But it run everything else with one antenna. Hustler 4, 5, 6 BTV verticals, another good option. Ground-mounted verticals, multi-band antennas. So technically the answer is yes, but again, this is where you have to make a decision concerning your shack, your budget, your room, the type of radio you've got, what antenna you use. And if you're kind of on a budget, I highly recommend a G5RV. A lot of people love them, a lot of people hate them. But I had good luck with mine. However, you do need a tuner to run with it. So just something to think about. All right. This guy asked this question, and he kind of got some pretty good answers. Can a technician license transmit on 10, 11, and 12 meters? Well, that's something that it's obviously this guy's not licensed yet, so he had to study the band plan. If you look at the band plan, the only voice privileges a tech's got is on 10 meters from 28.3 to 28.5. You get some CW privileges on other bands. 11 meters is the whole CB band. It used to be a ham band, but it hadn't been a ham band since the late 50s or early 60s. And 12 meters of ham band, you got to have a general class to access it. So, guys, when you ask questions like that, if you're not licensed, it don't hurt to ask anything. If it'll get your interest up, ask it. Just be prepared for some of the answers you get. But if you're already a tech, get you a band plan and study it, and that'll help you out a whole lot, I promise. Okay. I was licensed at 62, age 14. Drove my parents crazy putting stamps on all those QSL cards. I still return a paper QSL if anyone wants one. Question: how many still send paper QSLs or use the bureau, and who remembers Box 88? Well, I don't even know what Box 88 was. That's before my time. I do paper QSLs. I do them. If this is just how I do them now, and I'm not getting as many back as I send out. If I've already got a card from a state and I just work a state, if the guy wants a card, I'll gladly send him one. If I happen to work a new ham, just getting into the hobby, I send them a card every time, and I don't expect one in return. If I work a state that I don't have and the guy's willing to QSL, I will send him a card and I will stick a self-addressed stamped envelope in there with it. It kind of helps ensure you'll get your card back. DX stations, this is one of the good things about QRZ. You can look at, they'll all pretty much, if they've done a profile on QRZ, they'll tell you how or if they'll QSL. And if I send to a DX station, I will send a QSL card with a addressed envelope in it, not stamped. And I'll usually stick a couple of bucks, American dollars, in there between the card and the envelope, or $3. Some of them ask for $3. If it's a country I don't have, I don't mind doing that to help them out with postage. Don't get them all back. I wish we did. I don't get the return on them I used to get back in the 90s, but to me, that's something real personal. And if you get somebody visiting your shack and they come in and see a bunch of QSL cards on the wall from different countries, different states, to me, that's a better way of getting their attention than seeing a wall full of certificates or showing them your logbook of the world. That to me just not that interesting. All right. Well, the band's open. Best way to find out is try calling CQ. If all we do is listen or ask on Facebook or rely for info on the web, it will be dead because nobody bothers to transmit. I don't like to use those band condition thingies on the web or the cluster because they might show poor or no activity because everyone's just not trying it. If it says poor or nothing on the waterfall, try anyway. Call CQ. You might be surprised. Very good statement. Jeff the other night, Liberty 5 HKV, I had a meeting. Some of us we couldn't get on there that night. Jeff was in there. He said band was dead quiet. He had zero noise floor, which is usually an indication at 10 meters at night that it's probably not open. Heard a guy from Australia. He talked to him for 20 minutes. Just S9 signal. Good call. Good contact. Not even thinking the band might be open. That's what I do. I call CQ. I'll go to 450, 400, or get out on 17 meters, find an open frequency, just go to calling CQ. Sooner or later, somebody will answer. It's the best way to find out. My radio doesn't have, well, I take it back. The 897 has one of the earlier waterfall displays, but it's not real time, and I don't really care to use it, so I always just tune around. Now, there's beacon stations in CW on 10 meters in every band. If you can tune down and hear them, works good. And I've got something here that I use. Like I said, I've used it before. I got a 40-channel AM/CB radio hooked up to a base antenna out there. I just turn it on, go switching channels. When I start hearing skip on channel 6, channel 10, channel 21, channel 19, good indication that 10 meters is probably open. But get on there and call CQ, even if you're not hearing nothing. Best way to find out. And that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Can anyone give me a good, legit reason why people sell radios without the microphone and still want top dollar? I'm not going to comment on the price. I'm not even going to go there on the price because that's what the sell between the seller and the buyer. What you're willing to pay and what he's willing to take for it. So I'm not going to get into that issue. I will say this. Now, you need to think about if you're looking at older radios from, say, the 80s, 90s era radios, it was pretty common back then to buy a brand new radio and not have a microphone with it. They used to not put them in there with them. I never did really understand why. Nowadays, you buy a radio, they've pretty much got a hand mic with them. But if you're looking at radios from the 80s, 90s, good chance it didn't come with a mic to begin with. Now, here's another idea on that I'm seeing a lot of when I scroll through eBay. I think a lot of these people are going around and buying up estate sales, and they're not ham radio operators, and they're just putting stuff up for sale, and they're just trying to sell every piece of it, and in an effort to make more money. Now, do I agree with that? That's, again, it's capitalism. That's a buyer-seller's market. The thing that I've always been a little aggravated with is, for some reason, I've always wanted an old Heathkit tube radio. But very rarely do you find a Heathkit tube radio that they're selling the power supply with. And you got to have the matching power supply for the model radio with those radios. When you see them on eBay, like, I got the power supply on another auction. So you just don't see them sell them together. And a lot of this would maybe be the same way at Max. So who knows? Best thing to do, if you're looking at used gear, like I said, I keep telling you, check MTC out. For most of his used gear's got a 30-day warranty. You're not going to get that buying one off an individual. Not knocking buying off individual. I prefer to go to ham swap meets and talk to the guy in person and look at his table, how it's set up, and see how the equipment's laid out. It tells you a whole lot right there about the quality of the gear. Got Queen Wilhelmina Ham Fest in Mena, Arkansas coming up about 3 weeks. I plan to go up there and probably going to make a video up there. Just the whole video will be about the Queen Wilhelmina trip. Guys, thanks again, and congratulations, Dean Francis. I will get this in the mail to you either tomorrow or Tuesday. We got weather coming in here, and if it's coming a frog strangler all day tomorrow, I probably ain't getting out of the house, but I'll get it in the mail by Tuesday for sure. Y'all remember Main Trading Company, Paris, Texas. Great place for ham radio gear, especially as used gear. Remember all your club pages, Four States Amateur, Cowtown Amateur, Dallas Amateur, Shreveport Amateur Radio, Farmersville, all good avenues to learn about ham radio on Facebook. These are all Facebook pages. Other ham radio related Facebook pages: Ham Radio Flea Market, Trading Post, Ham Radio, Amateur Radio Elmers, Texas Radio Operators, etc. A bunch of good informational pages you'll find on ham radio. Remember our 10-meter round table on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Friday nights, 7:30 Central Standard Time. Try to be on 28.450, but if we're not there, look on 28.460 to 470. We'll be in that area there sometime. Because sometimes there's some nets if the band's open, and we don't want to interfere with anybody's net on 450. Thanks again for everybody who subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. My email is posted on my QRZ page. Leave me a comment, shoot me an email, and I'll try to answer any question you got. This is KB5 MIQ Big Boy 73.